I encountered that guy at my new job within 2 days, by user long Sunadisi. Hi all, long time reader, first time poster. Even reading this sub for over 6 years did not put me off finally taking my first step into the IT profession, which I've wanted to for years, after 7 years in the education sector. A friend made me aware of a fairly lucrative position at a local manufacturing plant, which pays very well for my area and would be a huge step up from what I was doing at a local college, which had elements akin to help desk support but was explicitly not an IT role. However, I think having worked with a ticketing system and 15 plus years of personal tinkering with computing helped me land the job, and I was thrilled. There are 2 of us in support for over 500 users, so we provide level 1, 2, and 3 support. I really wanted to make a good impression, so I dived into resolving my first ever help desk tickets in my life, with help from my supervisor who is exceptionally helpful but can have a bit of a temper at times, not towards his staff but useless users. Day 2 swings around and I'm feeling positive. A new ticket comes in, I have changed the user's name involved to Jeff. Jeff puts in a ticket saying an access database, yes we use a massive site-wide access database, was throwing an error. I contact him through Teams chat, as most users use that instead of calling. Jeff, access database has an error, I need this to do my job and report crucial statistics, I'm exceptionally busy. It needs fixing now. Me, okay, my supervisor has informed me we can resolve this by reinstalling the application, it's a relatively quick fix but you will be unable to work for 20 minutes while we configure it on your laptop. 5 minutes pass. Jeff, this is unacceptable, you said it would be fixed in 20 minutes. Me, wondering how 5 minutes now means 20 minutes, Office is just reinstalling, which includes access. As you can see from the progress bar it is about 33% done, please bear with it as it completes. Jeff, no, this is unacceptable. Cancel the installation now so I can go back to working, I will be making a complaint. At this point, I am terrified. No one treated me like this at my last job, now someone is making a complaint on my second day in IT. I try to be polite and say I will leave the ticket open and pending until we get the issue resolved for him. Before I can even walk down the corridor to explain to my supervisor, I hear him speaking with a raised voice on the phone. Supervisor, if the application is so crucial to your job, why won't you let my staff work on resolving it for you? Until you provide us with an hour of your time when we can work on your laptop, the ticket will be on hold. It is now your responsibility to book that time in your calendar for us to complete the work. It has now been 3 months, and Jeff has requested that we take his laptop and install the Office package and configure the database overnight, requiring us to stay after hours. We are salaried 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., which was refused, and after asking when the ticket will be resolved 3 times, to which we responded that it was his responsibility to find the time, as we had tried to accommodate him multiple times and we were told he is too busy, I raised it with my supervisor again. Now I know why he's appreciated. Supervisor, close the ticket buddy. I guarantee you when you close it, he will call again and he will be denied a final time. The guy is AD head. I closed the ticket, and he called instantly. Got told somewhat politely where to shove it, and next time if he has an urgent job that needs completing to be cooperative. I love having supportive superiors who tell users what's what when they're acting like idiots. TLDR, user wants an issue resolving within 5 minutes, and complains to my superior, expected a reprimand. Supervisor instead tells him how it really goes and keeps him on the hook for 3 months before shutting him down. Caller can't grasp concept of emergency city water repair, by userabilistmage. First time poster in TFTs, smiley face. I get this kind of call maybe 2 to 3 times per week, and yesterday alone I got it about 6 times in one day. Caller, is this the water company? Me, this is the city water department, not a company. Caller, our water service is out, and we pay our bill regularly. Me, what is your address? Caller, 1234, ABC Street. Me, we currently have an emergency repair on ABC Street, so water will be out until we can get it fixed, crews are working as we speak. Caller, I wasn't notified. Me, it's an emergency crews don't ever typically notify people. Caller, well you should at least notify people when the water will be off. Me, the people who would be out notifying, are the ones working on the emergency. It would take longer for the repair to be completed if we tried to notify everyone, plus many people don't have phone numbers on their accounts. Caller, you couldn't have put a door tag out? Me, that would require stopping work on the emergency, and making it take even longer to get water working again. Caller: well, don't you know about repairs in advance? Me: no one knows about emergencies ahead of time, those happen with no notice and we go to repair them as soon as possible. Caller: well, what am I supposed to do? I have work in the morning. Me: you'll have to wait until the repair is completed. Caller: well, this is unacceptable, I pay my bill and. Me: interrupting, it has nothing to do with paying your bill, the pipe is broken, and we're fixing it. If we weren't fixing it, then your water would still be out. Caller: isn't it illegal to have someone's water off when their bill is paid? Me: the water being out is why we are repairing it. It's an emergency. Caller: well, you need to notify people ahead of time so they can make plans. Me: if we knew about emergencies ahead of time, they wouldn't be emergencies. There's no way to plan for them. Caller: well, this is unacceptable. Me: we're fixing it so it will become acceptable, because it's an emergency. Caller: well, I need you to turn my water back on now. Me: water won't be back on until the repair is completed. Caller: I don't understand why you can't just turn it on. Me: there's no water to even turn on, that's why we're fixing it. When it's fixed, the water will be back on. Caller: well, why wasn't it fixed sooner? Me: it wasn't broken then. Caller: give me your name, I am going to report you to the city. You shouldn't be able to do business in our city. Me: you're speaking to the city right now. Caller: no, this is the number on my bill, to the water company. Me: there is no such thing as a water company. Caller: just tell me when the water will be back on. Me: we're not sure when it will be back on, emergency crews are working on it. When they're done, it'll be back on. Caller: well, this is just wrong, it needs to be back on now. Me: that's what we're working to. Caller hangs up before I finish. I do genuinely like these kinds of calls, it's kinda like having a renewed confidence in confronting your bully, by having the perfect comeback that completely unravels every one of their attempts to bring you down, and you know all of their ways already and have perfect comebacks for every one of them. Smiley face. I share my passwords with the world, by user GammaGeekNerd. A new senior designer/team lead joined the company and he had so many ideas he literally needed a whiteboard behind him to write down the constant stream of consciousness that spilled out. He somehow convinced a manager to let him handle a client project in a new industry we are getting into, and he went about chaotically sending his entire team constant messages about features and desired functionality of what they were building. I'm in IT, so whenever something big is starting up, it's normal to get a stream of tickets all asking for stuff from permissions and programs to new workstations. Unfortunately, I was given the task of wrangling and addressing most tickets that came to the new team, so I was in constant contact with the designer/lead. On my first call with him, I see he had the whiteboard behind his home office, and right in view of the surprisingly high-def camera was his password for his work email and the number associated with his workstation. I tell him anyone can see his password and to remove it from his board it's a security risk. I get him all the creds and programs his team needs and leave to do other stuff. A week later, I'm getting a flurry of pings asking me to get on a high prio ticket, and it's the team lead who called the company and had someone else get a ticket out, and he's asking me why he can't log into his email or anything. I see what's up and his account is flagged for too many attempted logins and it's from a different IP than his company provided router. I'm super confused and think we have someone trying to brute force passwords, but they are failing thanks to our usage of single-use authentication codes. I get him and my sup into a call after resetting his creds and unlocking his account, and right there on his whiteboard is not only his old password but the one I just set up for him and the partial emails of some team members. I'm now sure of what happened, and so is my sup after I told him to read the whiteboard, so he gets a small dressing down from him but a bigger one from his boss, and a company email is sent out expressing the need for security and trust if we want to continue remote work. TLDR, guy writes his password on the wall behind him and didn't expect anyone to try logging into his email. I don't know why you're telling me this, by user want Debian thinks. Mom, the pink tablet is at 0. Me, hey? Mom, it's dead. Mom, no charge. Me, I don't know what you're talking about, or what you expect me to do. Mom, there's no charger. With these confusing text messages sent apropos of nothing, I call my mom. Me, Family IT, this is John. Can I get your name and a call back number please? Mom, what? You called me? Me, yeah, but I don't know what the hell you've been texting me, so here we are. This is where she realizes she texted me instead of my sister. My sister and her husband is at my nephew's t-ball game, but my niece was hanging out with my mom because it's hot as fuck outside. My sister sent a kiddo tablet along, but the battery died almost right away, and my mom was trying letting my sister know. Me, can you look at the charging port? There's like a 60% chance it will use the same charger as your tablet or cell phone. Time passes. Mom, oh, look at that. It's charging now. Me, if there's nothing else, would you like your ticket number? That's just a bit outside the max length, by user dependent _ad 3226. I worked for a copier company for a few years. Digital imaging field engineer if you will. One of our salesmen took a new massive Konica out to a remote site. They wanted to use scan to shared folder, so I had to tag along as the IT guy to set things up. This was the early 2000s, so think XP. We get there and the new machine which has USB and a NIC is right next to the computer to be set up. That's awesome, took me 15 minutes to hook up the USB and configure the settings and show them how it worked. We went to lunch and then home. Didn't hear a peep for 6 months. We start getting calls that the scanning isn't working anymore. A couple of times bouncing the PC would fix it but it kept coming back. Nothing has changed, we're told. We took a ride out there, 3 HRS away, and when I walked into the building the problem was apparent. The copier was now on the other side of this large room and no longer next to the PC. It was still hooked up via USB. 10 feet USB extension, 10 feet USB extension X8 then plugged into the copier. They had almost 90 feet of USB 1.1. cords all daisy chained together. Just a bit outside the max length. Fixed it the next week by placing a second NIC in the PC and using a crossover cable and some static addresses to connect the copier via NIT. Didn't think there was a problem since they all hooked together, I was told. Just because you can is not a confirmation that you should.